welcome to episode 11. Today, we're going to be talking about nutrition, the things that we eat to put in our body for energy, for fuel.
One day, a chicken walked into a library and said, "Book." So the librarian gave it a book and it walked away. The next day, it came back and said, "Book, book." So the librarian gave it 2 books and then it walked away. Then, the next day, the chicken came back and said, "Book, book, book." And so the librarian gave it 3 books, but this time she was curious, so she followed it through the city, into the suburbs, into the forest, to the bank of a pond, and there was a frog, and the frog said, "Read it, read it, read it."
This is a joke for Speck. Why did the elephant have 1 leg? Because he was in the laundry bin. Why can't you trust an atom? Because they make up everything. One atom walked up to another atom. One atom said, "I think I've lost an electron." The other atom said, "Are you sure?" The face atom said, "I'm positive."
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Who's there?
Dinosaur.
Dinosaur.
Dinosaur who?
Dinosaur who?
Dinosaurs don't say who.
Dinosaur don't say who.
Dinosaurs roar.
Dinosaur roar.
We have a very special guest with us today. You might recognize him from our animal exercise video. Please welcome to the program to talk about nutrition and healthy eating, Jesse Tubb! Yay!
Hey Speck, thanks for asking me to be on your show to talk about food and fitness. Let's just start out with any questions you might have.
Jesse, why does it matter what we eat? Why should we eat healthy food?
Well, it's important to eat healthy because the food we eat is the fuel for our body, right? Imagine we put really poor quality gas into our car. Well, the car's not going to run really well, or it's not going to run really far. Same thing with food. If we only eat really unhealthy food, then our body's not going to be able to go very far or go really well. And the food that we eat becomes our body. My family and I went on a hike in Maine, and we ate blueberries right off the mountain. And still, those blueberries are a part of my body somewhere. Maybe it's in my shoulder or my thigh. And I had salmon last month from Alaska, and that salmon is a part of my body. Maybe it's my nose or my ear. And I had some rice from Japan last week, and maybe that's part of my eyebrow. Or the kiwi I had from New Zealand. Maybe that's part of my throat. So I am literally made up of the dirt that grows into the food or the water that gets swallowed by the fish of this earth, all over the earth. So all of us are made up of parts of this earth by the food that we eat. So that's why it's important to think about what we put in our body.
But what about desserts?
Well, it's important to eat healthy most of the time, right? And I like to think of food in 2 different categories. There's the anytime food you can eat whenever you want to, right? Orange, or maybe some water, fruits, vegetables, meats, bread. And then there's the fun time food, marshmallows and soda, right? So those are foods that are fun and you can have some of the time, but we don't eat those all the time because then these would become what our body's made up of only, right? So we want our body to be mostly made up of the anytime food, the healthy food. So maybe a fun project for next week would be to draw pictures of a person who's eaten healthy and not so healthy food and what that food has become on that person. So an example would be like maybe a Dorito chip leg or a broccoli head or an orange elbow. So see what kind of creative things you can come up with.
That's a great idea. Why don't you draw pictures of what different foods make different people turn into.
I eat. I don't want junk. I don't want sugar. I fill my own plate. Some think it's gross. I think it's yummy. And so what if I love each veggie and each fruity? Why not try to eat things from the different food groups? Your meal is your feast, and you should shout, "Proud world, I am what I eat." I eat, and what I eat makes happy digestion. I cook my own meals. Sometimes it's breakfast, sometimes it's dinner. For each meal there's no return and no regretting one life. So it's time to open up your pantry. Health is worth this care, so you can all share. We are what we eat. I am what I eat, and what I eat makes happy digestion. Fats, proteins, and carbs in good amounts from serving suggestions. And for each meal there's no return and no regretting one life. So it's time to open up your pantry. Health is worth this care, so we can all